are calling for more health counselors and education on the vaping epidemic. In a roundtable discussion Tuesday, Governor Tim Walz listened to what Hopkins high school students had to say about vaping. Reporter Pafua Yang joins us and has more details. Pafua?
Shannon, the governor's efforts to address the vaping epidemic comes after the state announced 3 people have died from vaping. High schoolers explained that vaping seemed like a safe way to feel release, but the side effects of addiction is causing trouble.
When I would go to class after trying to stop, it was like I wasn't able to even concentrate on what I was used to able to easily do. And it felt like I was losing my sanity, and that was what drawn me to go back. But then quitting, when you finally decide you want to quit, it's horrible for a bit, but it does get better, and I can promise anyone who's trying to quit that.
A recent state report says the number of 8th graders who vape nearly doubled since 2016. The Minnesota Department of Health reports about 78 people so far experienced severe lung disease stemming from vaping. Governor Walz is putting together a policy to combat the use of e-cigarettes by raising the legal age to buy tobacco products to 21. State lawmakers would have to approve the policy. Meanwhile, the number of cities that have raised the legal sales age to 21 has risen to 53. One of the latest is Golden Valley, which also restricted sales of flavored tobacco products.
We do believe that Tobacco 21 and the banning of flavors, including menthol, has proven to work and reduce the incidence in other places. I was mentioning that my executive authority does not extend the ability to do that. We're going to push it. I think now, and I'm really hopeful in Minnesota, I think you're seeing movement and bipartisan work on the insulin issue. We think this one falls right in that category. This is not divisive.
Governor Walz will also be visiting St. Cloud and Faribault schools this week. Shannon?
All right, thank you, Pafua. To say it has been a wet year in the northwest suburbs would be an understatement. After Monday, almost 47 inches of rain has fallen this year in Robbinsdale. And with all of that rain, it's why the city put in an extra pump in late May to drain the water out of Crystal Lake. But the pump hasn't been able to keep up with Mother Nature.
The supplemental pump that we have out at Crystal Lake is working full time to try and keep the lake level under control. But with rain like we get today, that just throws us back in our ability to make progress to get that lake level down. The regular pump is also pumping, but that finds it very difficult to keep up as well.
However, things could be a lot worse. According to the Robbinsdale Public Works Department, without that supplemental pump, it would be disastrous for lower-lying areas of Robbinsdale north of Crystal Lake. Earlier in the year, there was no additional pump, and some residents had water in their basements and ponding in their yards. All of this rain is also causing havoc with city projects.
It would be nice to have a regular rainfall year instead of these what seem to be very abnormally high rainfall years. We've got a number of projects that are being held up because the water table level is just so high that we can't possibly excavate into it and hope to keep a decent trench or anything like that.
McCoy says the supplemental pumps will remain until freezing temperatures or snow comes. The city of Golden Valley is trying to reinvent itself, especially when it comes to rethinking its downtown. The city considers downtown to be the 4 quadrants surrounding Winnetka Avenue and Golden Valley Road. An open house Monday night shared ideas about what Golden Valley could look like. That includes planning for the future of the Golden Valley Shopping Center.
Now, it's been there since the 1950s. It's kind of an institution in Golden Valley. I think it's no surprise that it's probably aged and there's a chance to do some reinvestment there. Or when the time is right, maybe there's some phased replacement. You know, there's a couple of different buildings as part of that mall, and it could be that when the time is right, some new uses come in and we could develop it.
Some of the concepts include a grocery store or some apartments for that area. The timeline is uncertain. It could be in the next 2 years or in the next 15 to 20. The city of Crystal is looking for Hennepin County's help to make improvements to 2 parks. One of the projects that could benefit involves the Fair School in Crystal. The city is partnering with the Robbinsdale School District to build a new soccer field as well as a new playground that's closer to the school with easier access for kids with disabilities. The city and the school district each plan to contribute $125,000. They're hoping to receive another $200,000 through a Hennepin County Youth Sports Grant.
We think that they're good projects, and until the application process happens, it's really hard to know. It's other cities in our area that will also be applying for the grants, and depending on how many applications they receive, they all get scored, and we'll see what happens in a month or so.
The city is also asking the county for $75,000 to help build a hockey rink in North Lyons Park and centralize their winter outdoor activities all in one place. North Hennepin Community College faculty is taking their turn in showing off their talents in a new exhibit.
I've been doing ceramics since I was a little kid. My father's a potter and started throwing on the wheel when I was 6. And it's just kind of something that's always been kind of that, you know, that ongoing thing in my life, that when I was undergrad, after my first semester in college, going for IT networking, I just like, you know, this isn't me. Started thinking about what is it, what's been consistent in life, and it's been that affinity for clay and that process of working with material and using my hands and wanting to do that full time.
North Hennepin wants all of their fine arts faculty to be working artists, and 11 of them are featured in this exhibit at the college's Fine Arts Gallery. It's open during business hours, and the public is always encouraged to stop in on the Brooklyn Park campus and see what's on display. We have more on this story and stories like it on our website at ccxmedia.org. Check it out.
The undefeated and top-seeded Champlin Park girls soccer team will take its first ever run at a state title. Jason Malillo caught up with the state-bound Rebels as they prepare for their quarterfinal round game against Stillwater.
Champlin Park senior goalie Malia Brady can't stop laughing these days. And that's because the Rebels will play in the state tournament for the first time in school history in girls soccer, after beating Roseville 1-0 in the section final.
I was overtaken by emotion. I've been waiting 4 years for this, and as all the seniors have, so it was super fun to see like us finally get the result after so many years of being so close.
I think it's the best feeling we've all felt in a really long time. Yeah, people were crying. It was fantastic. We never really expected it, but it was awesome.
State tournament matches are usually low scoring, and the Rebels are built well for that. The defense has given up just 8 goals in 15 games, and more than one only once.
They've come together. There was some experience last year, you know, and they had a good season last year, and I think just really the culmination of just a lot of good teamwork. And it's not just the defenders, but we're really defending well in the midfield as well, so it limits the chances. But they've really come together, and they've really kind of held a solid line all season long, and then we're backed by a really good goalkeeper as well.
The defensive line has been amazing. I love every single one of them back there. Everyone communicates so well. It really feels like a family. It's been my favorite line to play in forever. I played center back for 9 years, and this has definitely been my favorite so far.
Champlin also has a balanced scoring attack and will aim to challenge first-round opponent Stillwater from the opening kick. Winning the section title was a huge thrill, but the Rebels want more. And just imagine how happy Brady will be if they win 3 more games. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Champlin Park lines up against the 16-3 Ponies on Tuesday night at 5:30 at North St. Paul High School. State High School 8 policy does not allow us to televise or stream the game live. You can watch tonight, Tuesday night at 10 o'clock, however, on CCX1 and ccxmedia.org. Many of the girls on the Maple Grove girls soccer team are no stranger to the pressure of playing in the postseason. The Crimson faced Minnetonka Tuesday night at North St. Paul High School in the team's 3rd straight appearance at the state tournament. It hasn't come easy the last couple of matches for the Maple Grove girls soccer team. The Crimson scored on a penalty kick late in the second half of the team's 1-0 section semifinal win over Moorhead, then needed a shootout to defeat STMA in the section final. That kind of high-stakes playoff soccer could pay off at the state tournament.
It definitely got us back into that playoff mentality and that reminder that everybody's playing in that last game. They're looking to practice one more day, and we've got to continue to look at the immediate moment and not too far down the line.
I think that with our team being under the pressure we've been on before, definitely gives us the experience that other teams haven't had. so I think that'll give us a leg up in our next game.
The Crimson drew Minnetonka for tonight's state quarterfinal round. That's the team that beat the Crimson in this round at state a year ago. Revenge factor? Maybe not, but the girls are looking forward to another shot at the Skippers.
We're just going into the game knowing that we're going to play as best as we can and to the full spectrum that we can. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's really much of a revenge factor because we don't really go into a game like that.
Minnetonka is the defending state Class AA champions. Like Maple Grove's opponents have found out about them, Tonka, too, is a tough team to score against.
We've been both strong offensively and defensively, and they've been very strong defensively. So if we can, kind of crack their tough defense and their good goalkeeping, that's always a challenge, especially in the playoffs when everyone turns things up just a little bit more.
Again, there is no live television from the state tournament, but you can watch CCX full game coverage of this game Wednesday night at 7 on CCX1 and ccxmedia.org. The Maple Grove boys team plays their state tournament quarterfinal round match Wednesday afternoon at 5:30 at St. Cloud State University. That's all for sports. More news after this.